Well, let's take a quick look at the bracket, the final stages, of course, of the bracket now. Spain into their first World Cup final since 2010. They will play, as John said, either England or Argentina. As we welcome you back inside our stadium, inside our studio at the stadium, Alexi Lalas, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Thierry Henry, Rebecca Lowe. What a result. The head in the shirt of Desiree Doué. But Zlatan, I've got to start with this Spain team. Rodri, another masterclass from him and from his teammates. And Luis de la Fuente, Stuart said it, but it's worth repeating, has never lost a game either at the Euros or at the World Cup in charge of this Spain team. What did you make of Spain today, Zlatan?
They took the command from first minute until the last minute. They were feeling alive. They were active. They wanted it. They ran those extra meters. Every duel, they went in. They wanted to win it. When they were attacking, they were convinced. They took the initiative. You could see every pass they did was like, we want this. And the opposite when it comes to France. And I have to name Rodri was all over the place. What a game. What a player. And it's a player that doesn't get a lot of credit, but this game he was everywhere. He was just magnificent. And like I said before the game, football won today. This was a good game. Yes, France, I believe they can do more. They should have done more, but these two teams deserve to be, either of them should have been in final, and Spain is in the final.
Let's not forget, as we see pictures of Didier Deschamps, the French manager, that after 11 years as a player, there he is, and 14 as the manager of this France team, 25 years of his career with the France team. That is now his final game, as he will leave his position now at the end of France's World Cup. Thierry, was that a masterclass from Spain today?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to the team and Didier Deschamps for what he has done for our game, for the national team, and more. So that's been said. Now let's talk about also in this type of games you have levels, and I'll go back to levels. This is a team. This is a country. This is why I go back to, you know, when people talk about the US and those Spanish fans and the team find a way to be successful at every level. Women's football, youth tournament, Olympics. I lost the final against them. And time again, they're coming. They had an identity, a philosophy. They all play the same way at every level. This is why the coach was the youth team coach normally. But because he knows exactly how the system is, all the players knows how the system is. You can see this is a team with stars in it, but first and foremost is a team effort. And today, we were not at it, we were not in the game, but mainly because when the Spanish team gets the ball, they don't give you the ball back. You have to go and get it. You need to press a tiny bit better. We couldn't get the ball off them. The second shot on target was at the end, Dembele only, and that's us. That's why I said at every level, you have levels. Spain, congratulations. You deserve to go to the final. You are European champion, but I also want to give credit to the whole system and what they put in place, because Spain never used to win like that. And now they win at every level. They still don't win this one, don't get me wrong, and they're always there and about. So well done, Spain. Sorry for my country, obviously, as you can imagine. That's a team I supported, but you have to give them credit. They were just better. Yeah,
you mentioned it. De La Fuente, very much a man of this system, youth team head coach with Spain, Olympics as well, and now he has taken them to another World Cup final. As we see an embrace between Kylian Mbappé and Didier Deschamps, and it's goodbye to France for now. Alexi, your thoughts on this?
Well, you've thrown around the word masterclass, and I completely agree with you and Stu that everybody's calling it that, but this was also a work of art. This was a beautiful thing to see unfold. Not just the result, not just who the opponent was, but the manner in which Spain went out and got this victory. It was something to see, and we talk so much about the possession of Spain, and obviously that is a huge part of the game, and it dampens the spirit of the opponent because you just cannot get the ball. But without the ball, what they did was amazing in terms of cutting out passing lanes, in terms of making it difficult to play out of the back. Throughout this tournament, we have yet to see France look this uncomfortable in the way they did for 90 minutes, not just parts of the game, but for all of the game. The unforced and the uncharacteristic errors from France. Like I said, we have not seen through this tournament. They came up against that man and his team and his philosophy, and to T's point, a general philosophy on how to play the game, and France had no answers, and they shut them down from start to finish. Then when they did get the ball movement was efficient. When they needed to slow it down, they did. When they needed to speed it up, they did. When they needed to one touch, even on the goal, it was there. And it's just amazing. And you're absolutely right about Rodri. He was everywhere. He's not unsung because we know who he is, but he does a lot of work that at times can go unseen, that at times is ugly, but it is vital to this machine that is Spain.
I just wanted to add also the coach that we saw there, De La Fuente, to be able to put Pedri on the bench for Fabian Ruiz. You also have to see that he realized that the team wasn't well balanced at one point, that they were not maybe what he thought they were. He put a tiny bit more, if I can say, meat inside the midfield with Fabian Ruiz, and that's not the first time. But look, the only team that managed to draw against the team of Luis De La Fuente is Cabo Verde.
Absolutely. Cape Verde with that draw against who are now the World
in
Cup
major tournaments,
finalists. In major tournaments in this World Cup. Superior player of the match time, sponsored by Michelob Ultra. Pedro Porro, the fullback from Tottenham Hotspur, made the game safe in the second half. Just a second goal for Spain. Both have come here at this World Cup. Plenty more on the way. Luis De La Fuente's remarkable record at major tournaments continues. He has led Spain into the World Cup final, much to the delight of all those back home in Madrid and Barcelona. They've beaten France today by 2-0. Baseball's biggest stars are in Philly for the All-Star game. Juan Soto, Yordan Alvarez, and the game's best take centre stage in a midsummer classic unlike any other. That is next, only on Fox. Dallas Stadium is our destination today for the first of two World Cup semi-finals. Alexi Lalas, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Thierry Henry, Rebecca Lowe with you. We will hear from the second goal scorer, Pedro Porro, shortly, but we'll begin, Lex, by talking everyone through the story of this game.
Yeah, the stars are out, on and off the field for that matter, and this is just like I said, an innocuous cross that comes across. You think, all right, he'll deal with it. Digne on that far side. He makes a complete mess of this, doesn't recognize where Lamine Yamal is, and Lamine Yamal says, I will sneak in on your offside there, blind side, and it's a penalty. Basal steps up, crushes it, absolutely crushes it in the back of the net, and just like that, Spain up 1-0, off to the races, feeling good about themselves.
And in the 28th minute, you're going to see an early injury from William Saliba. You can see now he goes down, some kind of injury, and France has to do their first substitution. Maxence Lacroix comes in. Crystal Palace legend, not difficult to beat. In the 58th minute, Pedro Porro makes 1-2. Look at the French players, they're ball watchers. What happens? He comes free, bam, 2-0. 1-2 with the striker, comes free. The French players, they watch the ball, follow your guy. Whenever they do 1-2, you'll follow your guy. Don't watch the ball. And makes it 2-0. And happy.
And then we thought maybe, but just a maybe, something can happen from here. Laporte miscontrolling the ball, Cherki feeding Kylian Mbappé. Unai Simon comes out. I thought that maybe Desiree Doué was going to take it. One touch, it was a bit difficult. But then Unai Simon comes back, gets the ball, saves it. Maybe if it was Zlatan, he would have tried to volley it from here. But he's not Zlatan, couldn't finish it. It was too little from France at the end of the very day. We already talked about it. They controlled the game on and off the ball. They showed why they're European champion. They're showing why they're going to the final. There is nothing to add. They were far more, I think they were superior. There's nothing to say about it. Sometimes you just have to think about it and see what you can do next time you meet them. But, like I said, Spain, well done.
Two goal scorers for Spain today. Then, as you saw, Oyarzabal, he has 17 in his last 18, 30 in 60 for Spain. The other goal scorer, not as many. Pedro Porro with 2 for Spain, both at this World Cup. Let's hear from him now.
Well, it's a dream come true. I couldn't even dream of this. I'm so happy. I'm so happy because of the team's attitude from beginning to end. I think that we did such an amazing game. We gave it our all in order just to go through to the final. We knew they were a very tough team that were doing things really well. And this is our team. It's not about me.
Pedro Porro with the second goal today, but I want to talk once again. You mentioned him at half-time, Oyarzabal. What a contribution to this team. 30 goals and 60 appearances for Spain, Thierry.
Do you remember the first ever day?
I do remember.
Okay, I said people don't show respect to Oyarzabal. Okay, now I think they will.
Why do you think they don't?
Because he's playing for Sociedad, and maybe that's not maybe your typical team that people think, oh my God, he doesn't play for Barcelona, he doesn't play for Atletico, he doesn't play for Real Madrid. But put some respect on his name, because when you look at the numbers and look at also where he scored those goals and when he scored those goals, you just have to respect that. That's about it. I know he's not your step over guys, not make guys and whatnot. But one thing that he surely knows where is where the net is. And so you have to respect that, and he's been brilliant for a very long time for Spain.
Zlatan, maybe he's not fashionable, like Thierry says, plays for Real Sociedad instead of a Barcelona or a Real Madrid, but as Thierry talks about, the numbers you can't argue with.
No, the numbers are crazy, and but if I speak about Spain, I don't speak about one star. The team is the star. When they shine collective. Even if you have Yamal, but this is not a team that is dependent on one player. It's not an individual performance. This is a team performance. Everything they do is as a team. And this guy does these crazy numbers because of the team. And he's not your typical star. When you talk about Yamal, you talk about Mbappé, Olise, he doesn't shine in that way, but he does what's the most important, the goals that counts, and they're in the World Cup finals. I prefer to score those goals, to come to the final, than to be a star and not come to the final. So congrats to him. I want to give also credit to the France team. They were shining. They did amazing things. Deschamps, he did an amazing job with the French national team. I wish him all the best in the next chapter. And we have been enjoying this French team, and they lost against a better team today. And congrats also to Spain for reaching the World Cup final.
I know you said it in a few moments ago, but I'm going to ask you more about Didier Deschamps in just a second. I just want to ask you about Spain, Lex. Have they just warmed themselves perfectly into this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, every coach will tell you that you don't win it in the beginning, and you, to the extent that you can, you like to get better over the course of a tournament. Well, this was against a French team that they did this, and this was as good as they have been. I think this performance was something, like I said, something that you put up on the wall and say, this is how we play the game, and this is why we play the game. To your point about Oyarzabal, yeah, he doesn't scream movie star. We love our stars. And he is a star in the sense that he puts the ball in the back of the net, and those people that do are going to get the attention. But the star of this team had a good game, but still didn't star in this game. He had the possession. He kept the possession. So even in this moment, the star of the team is just part of this team, and that's what makes them really, really good.
They didn't start the best way, Spain, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they didn't concede a goal also today. This is the 7th, they concede only one game out of 7.
Let's finish before we head down to Rob and the guys pitch side. I wanted to ask you again, Didier Deschamps, I said it was goodbye to him. Of course, he will take charge of the third place game on Saturday down in Miami against the loser of either England or Argentina. 25 years of his life with this team. I'm just going to give you another few moments to say about him.
Well, I said it before. Thank you for what he has done as a player. Thank you for what he has done as a coach. Yes, we know the third and fourth place. It's better to finish third. I don't know if he does have that medal, by the way, but he has them all at the end of the very day. But no, look, like I said, today wasn't supposed to be, but we will always remember him. I don't know what he's going to do next. Zlatan said it. We wish him all the very best. We all know who is coming next.
Zinedine Zidane.
hopefully, you said it. I don't know. It hasn't been announced. But look, we all know it's coming next. We also wish him all the very best. Hopefully, Didier can also finish, with a win, and maybe Mbappé can finish top goal scorer and all of that. But once again, Didier Deschamps has been outstanding for the national team. So, Didier, merci.
Yeah, reports are that Zinedine Zidane will come in as the new head coach of this France team.
All the best, Zizou!
Yeah, but what a bunch of players to take over. Right, let's get some more post-match reaction. Pitch side, Landon Donovan, Javier Hernandez and Rob Stone. Guys?
Дни забывай, мы потеряны